Welcome to Psychology of the Daf. We are in Gemara Pesachim Daf Tzadi Dalet. What makes something true? Is there such a thing as objective facts, or is everything subject to context, and that reality itself is impossible to be separated from the internal phenomenon of the observer? For example, sound or color, they're just a collection of waves along a certain frequency. Not only is it impossible to know if two humans see the same thing, but we can't even know if it really exists. Would aliens see color and hear sound the way we do? Do animals? Even if you and your neighbor agree that this collection of waves represents a particular sound or a particular color, and it's consistent across the board, you don't know what it looks like inside your mind versus your neighbor's mind. Your red could be your neighbor's blue. Your blue could be your neighbor's red. Now, the Gemara tells us about the sages of Israel. Then they had a machlokas between the secular sages. Maybe it was the Greeks, maybe it was the Babylonians, who were very good at astrology as well. And basically, the Chachamim held that if you look at the night sky, the zodiacs rotated within the fixed sphere. The ancients used to believe that there was a sphere, like a kind of clear material, and there were many different spheres, and that's how they explained the various orbits. But the way the sages understood it is that the collection of stars that's represented in the zodiac, in the mazel, kind of would roll along the sphere itself. And the sages, the secular sages, believed that the zodiac was affixed to this clear bowl, sort of, and the bowl would rotate, and that's how the zodiac would move from month to month. Now, I'm struck by this representation because it has a great deal of symbolic content. It's noteworthy that according to the sages, the zodiac, or mazel, is seen as relative and in constant motion. Yet, according to the secular scholars, the zodiac is fixed and the sphere rotates, because this corresponds to a rabbinic worldview that reality itself is subject to negotiation via human intervention. The month and the year is determined by rabbinical fiat. As explained in great detail with vast implications, the Torah is not in heaven. The rabbis can even overrule the heavenly court and best God himself in a legal argument, as is explained in Gemara Bava Metzia Nun Tes Amud Beis. However, secularity, that is, Greek and Babylonian astrological wisdom, seeks to contain, manage, and hold a rigid form of reality. Is it an accident that the secular year is based on a fixed solar calendar of approximately 365 days that is consistent every year? On the other hand, the Jewish calendar is based on a lunar cycle that is constantly flexing and requiring rabbinic adjustment. You know, if you want to know what time Shabbos comes in, you could use a calendar of any year as long as you follow the secular date. So that is, sunset is basically the same time on September 1st or February 19th or whenever. So you never need to really get a new Jewish calendar if you don't want one. If you have a Jewish calendar from a different year, just correspond the secular date, because the sun and the earth are always in the same position relative to each other at that time of the year on the secular calendar, not the Jewish calendar that follows the month and that constantly requires leap months in order to adjust it properly. Now, my friends, this is a key difference between the Torah outlook and the secular outlook. It is not that the Torah ignores secular science, because that would be just plain pig-headed and stupid. It is only a recent phenomenon of the last 100 years or so that you can occasionally hear of a rabbinical authority making fun of secular science and wisdom. You would never find a Rishon or an early Achron suggesting that secular scientists are foolish. They might disagree on intellectual or religious grounds, but they never thought they were foolish. Nevertheless, and scientific facts notwithstanding, the rabbinic view is that reality itself is not completely objective, and that the intersubjectivity of the human experience allows for and even requires active and flexible intervention in order to succeed.